Welcome to Quick Bits from FMA Discussion with Dean Franco. My name is Royce, and this is my school Nomad, and I want to go over some bridging applications from Pikiti Tertia, right? And I got CJ here who's going to assist me with this, right? So the first technique I want to talk about, we don't hear too much of, but we see a lot of, is called Paawas. Paawas is a deflection. You usually see it in your low line deflection as such. The term Paawas means to overflow or to flow over. So what do you mean by that is as I deflect, my weapon is flowing over my arm, right? So when I do a Paawas and I check, right, like in Dakopi Punyo, right? I can use this to check the hand or capture the wrist. I can do it on the high line as such as well, right? Low line and high line, okay? So this is 2 out of the 6 types of Paawas that are in the basic platform. And you see this throughout a lot of the forms. I mentioned Dakopi Punyo, right? But you also see it in break and break out, even Sabayan, even in your Sagung Labo. All right? And that's what this is what we're going to talk about. Excuse me. All right? So again, so you can see how the Paawas works. Again, as I do a low line deflection, if CJ were to thrust at me, I'm going to deflect and check. Again, deflect and check. In Dakopi Punyo, deflect and capture. Deflect and capture as one of the options. Switch positions. He thrusts, check. Again, check. Again, capture. Again, capture. All right. Notice the Paawas. I'm usually keeping it tight to my body to throw the deflection. I'm not coming around like such. It is from my hip, waistline, deflecting, and flowing over my arm as I step offline. Does that make sense? All right, everyone. So we just discussed, and I showed you what Paawas was, low line Paawas. Just to recap, you have Paawas low line. You can also have Paawas high line. When it comes up, deflect and check. Right? Pretty simple, right? Just raising your shield. Does that make sense? Now, we see this in Dakopi Punyo, right? If you know your 64 attacks, right, or familiar with it, it is numbers 26 through 31. Okay? The feed is simple. There's a low line thrust to my center line with a number 1 Senkiri. He thrusts towards me. I'm going to deflect and check. I'm going to fire back with a punyo, right? He's going to raise his shield up as I try to crash in. I'm going to clear in and clear out. Then I will repeat. Right? He's going to do the same thing, right? As such. Now, another way of the way I was taught this, right? He's going to press down on my elbow before I can punyo. I crash here, then we clear. Slight variations. You could Paawas and check the punyo, or you could Paawas and check before the punyo. And that's where you're going to see the Paawas moving into the next technique, right? And now, there was a discussion a while back talking about Dakopi Punyo, as we used to call it back in the day, tap drill, is like the predecessor to Sabayan. I disagree, actually. And no disrespect to the people who believe that. And I will explain it throughout this bridging video so you people will see and understand what I'm talking about. But first things first, getting past the bridging of this aspect. So you see where this is all connected. All right? So again, Takopi Puño, right, is designed that I'm going to use my Paawas to check and come in with an attack. Right? Pretty simple, right? Let's say you throw the highline thrust. Same thing. I'm going to deflect. Boom. I'm right there. Switch position. Low line thrust. I'm right there. I have a strike. I got a hook. Right? He goes high line. Same thing. Go midline. Same thing. Make sense?